The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. What to expect from the housing market in 2023. 2022 housing market has been defined by two key things: inflation and rapidly rising mortgage rates. In many ways, it's put the market into a reset position as the Federal Reserve, the Fed, made moves this year to try to lower inflation. Mortgage rates more than doubled, something that's never happened before in a calendar year. This had a cascading impact on buyer activity, the balance between supply and demand, and ultimately home prices. And as all those things changed, some buyers and sellers put their plans on hold and decided to wait until the market felt a bit more predictable. But what does that mean for next year? What everyone really wants is more stability in the market in 2023. For that to happen, you'll need to see the Fed bring inflation down even more and keep it there. Here's what housing market experts say we can expect next year. What's ahead for mortgage rates in 2023? Moving forward, experts agree it's still going to be all about inflation. Inflation is high, mortgage rates will be as well. But if inflation continues to fall, mortgage rates will likely respond. While there may be early signs inflation is easing, as we round out this year, we're not out of the woods just yet. Inflation is still something to watch in 2023. Right now, experts are factoring all of this into their mortgage rate forecasts for next year. And if we average those forecasts together, experts say we can expect rates to stabilize a bit more in 2023. Whether that's between 5.5% and 6.5%, it's hard for experts to say exactly where they'll land. But based on the average of their projections, a more predictable rate is likely ahead. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you can actually see a mortgage rate projection chart for 2023. Let's take a look at just the averages, because we've got Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, MBA, NAR, all of them in there. By the fourth quarter of 2023, they're averaging out at 5.73. Nice little drop right there. So remember the mortgage, the RSR two-step. That's good for you. That means we'll start the year out about where we are right now, but we could see rates tick down if inflation continues to drop. As Greg McBride, chief financial analyst at bankrate.com explains, quote, mortgage rates could pull back meaningfully next year if inflation pressures ease. Now, we've talked about that so many times. That's a big surprise.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
In the meantime, expect some volatility as rates will likely fluctuate in the weeks ahead. If we see inflation come back under control, that would be good news for the housing market. What will happen to home prices next year? Home prices will always be defined by supply and demand. The more buyers and fewer homes there are on the market, the more home prices will rise. And that's exactly what we saw during the pandemic. But this year, things changed. We've seen home prices moderate and housing supply grow as buyer demand pulled back due to higher mortgage rates. The level of moderation has varied by local area, with the biggest changes happening in overheated markets. But do experts think that it will continue? The graph again shows the latest home price forecast for 2023. As the different colored bars indicate, some experts are saying home prices will appreciate next year. Others are saying prices will come down. But again, look at the averages. And I'm going to say, they say look at the averages for a 0.1%. I'm going to tell you, don't do that. Look at the home price expectation survey, because that is an average. It's kind of funny when they average these things together, yet they put the home price expectation survey as part of the averages. So the other ones skew these things way too much. 2.6% appreciation is what home price expectation survey says. Truth is probably somewhere in the middle. That means nationally we'll see relatively flat or neutral appreciation. Lawrence Yun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors with a vested interest, says, quote, after a big boom the last 2 years, there will essentially be no change nationally. Half of the country may experience small price gains, while the other half may see slight price declines, unquote. Bottom line, you got to look in your own unique area. If you want to know what's going on in your area, rsrlistana.com, rsrlistana.com. Go in there, put the information in there. It's going to come back with an Anaheim zip code. Don't worry about it. You can change that to get your zip code and see what's happening with home prices in your area. And you can also, you get that and it'll come out as often as you want. You want them to send it to you once a week or once a month, once a quarter. You can also do the same thing with rsrhomescout.com. And they've actually got something from Quantarium. Quantarium. It's one of the 4 different valuation items that are put on the sheet for you. RSR Home Scout. Quantarium will be the best one out there for you. And it'll also have the one that's often most erroneous, but it's the one that you know of the most. So that's why we put it there. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by our friend, the area trusted real estate professionals at Ron Siegel Radio. rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com.